Let's go, Ridernation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. It's a feeling now. Hit 'em high, hit 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
Welcome to the Piffles podcast, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us so much this week. As always, you got me. I'm Alex.
I'm Steve.
And I am humbled. I'm going to do the Barry Horowitz here since you didn't lead off with it. I really don't know what you guys see in us, but we just crossed the 300,000 mark on SaskTel, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. So I have no idea why. I'm still trying to figure it out.
300 since we missed 250 a couple months ago.
Yeah, a month ago. It was like a month and a half ago, I guess. Yeah. Like 6 weeks.
It's absolutely wild to me that people pay attention. We appreciate it. We do. Thank you so much. When we say thank you for listening, we truly mean it. We're just three Rider fans. We pay for our tickets just like everybody else.
Although, Craig, if you want to change that, we'd be interested in talking about
it. I could do that. I could go for that. The door is always open for Craig Reynolds to walk in and have a meeting. I'll tell you that. But yes, thank you so much. It's been 10 seasons.
It's a long time. We started this because we used to just sit around at the tailgate drinking beer and talking football, and somebody said, you guys should do that on a podcast, and we laughed. And then we did it. And now we sit around the table in our own homes, drinking beer, talking football, and other people listen. It'll never be not weird to me, and I appreciate it.
Faces for radio, though, right?
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah.
The
fact that our numbers are higher
yeah.
The video numbers being high is weird to me. Why would you look at us when there are audio options?
Some people need to have the TV on when they have a nap or something. That's probably what it is.
Oh, we put them to sleep. That makes sense. That tracks.
Start singing lullabies? Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe next week we'll sing. But thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Wherever you do get your podcasts, watching on YouTube or SaskTel Max TV on demand. Piffles podcast, of course, is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sask Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306 Regina's Tactical Laser Tag Experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Not a lot happening in Riderville over the last week, obviously with the team on the bye week, much needed bye week, ? In terms of hopefully getting some bodies back soon. But we found stuff to talk about, so we're going to do that. Let's get things started here with the opening kickoff. So absolutely nothing happened in the bye week. No roster moves, nothing until...
Which is good because there's some bye weeks back in the day where there was always news coming out of Riderville. It was never good and usually involved the Dudney strip.
The bye weeks with Chris Jones were always fun. There was plenty of roster moves then. Only two small roster moves over the last week since our last show. Riders signing a global defensive lineman, Sylvain Janjun. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that.
You don't know you're Belgian?
I don't. I'm sorry.
That looked pretty good to me.
But he was the first Riders' first round pick in the global draft this year. So he'll join the team on the PR. To make room, they did release defensive back Eddie Heckard. And Steve, don't say he had a heck of a... Don't make the joke.
What?
Not
as a father, I had to. It was right there. He had a Heckard of a Rider career. You have to do it. Come on.
I look forward to his Plaza nominee.
Yeah, he's going to show up on Remember That Guy pretty soon.
He's gonna be a celebrity in Hamilton somehow.
They'll sign him just so they can induct him onto their Wall of Fame or whatever they do.
Alumnus of distinction.
Yeah. But that's it. that's the Rider news. Outside of the first day of practice, which happened on Tuesday ahead of Hamilton's the game against Hamilton on Saturday. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But nothing. A nice, quiet week in Riderville, and hopefully, I mean, we talked to Chris Milo last week in the bye week. Hopefully, it's a week for guys like Brett Lawther to just get away from football altogether. Just be with family, friends, whatever, and just clear the mind. I was on forced vacation a couple weeks ago. Just so other people could get some hours, and I get paid holidays at work. So I was like, yeah, sure. You tell me when not to show up and I won't show up. And I did nothing. Like, I just hung out. I just caught up on some TV shows I was watching. I did nothing and cleared my mind. It was awesome. So hopefully maybe for a couple players, that's what happened. Just getting that family time. So vital, important, especially in the summer when everybody's off. So hopefully that's what they did in the bye week.
Definitely, these guys need to get their minds right, their bodies right. Obviously, you talk about the dings that come with the football season. We're halfway through, basically. So the guys need to heal up both mentally and physically. And plus, like, once again, schedule maker, you nailed that sweet spot. Like, that is. I love our way our schedule is, and I'm sure we're going to hear about if the Riders make a run and how it's not fair, and Bombers got all theirs at the beginning, and oh well, you play what's in front of you, you play the schedule you got, and we got a good one.
When you mentioned the healing and looking at, and we're going to probably talk about this a little more on the preview, but you look at the first practice today, and there was only, was it one guy limited, one guy out? And then it's just the guys on the 6 game. Everybody else was a full participant at practice again. That week off came at the perfect time for them to actually get not just mentally healthy, but physically, because those injury lists were getting, they were starting to look like books. And now it's just a quick page turner and it's done.
And this is where they're getting into kind of the hardest spot of the schedule. You got Hamilton, then in Calgary, then the back-to-back with Winnipeg, and then you have Montreal after that before the next bye week. After that, it kind of slows down with Edmonton and I think the home game against Montreal, Toronto as well too. So this right now, I know every game's the most important game you play, but this little stretch here, we're going to find out, you know, how good this team really is when they're up against Hamilton, really the only other team in the upper echelon. But Calgary's, they're not an easy out, obviously. And Winnipeg, we haven't played them yet, so we don't really know how we stack up against them. But
how does it feel, though, to have a 3-game lead on them and have 3 games against them?
Having the tiebreaker might not be a necessity this year. Obviously, you want it, but with the way things have gone, it's nice to have that lead now.
Well,
with how
they lost all 3 to the Stamps too. They need all the victories they can get too, because it's looking like if they are in the playoffs, it's going to be crossover or they're on the road regardless.
With how that back half of the season laid out, that 7-1 start that we've gotten ourselves into is absolutely killer. They can go realistically 3-2 over this 5-game stretch and still be comfortably in a home playoff position. Like this, you couldn't have asked for a better start. I mean, yes, 8-0 is technically a better start. You could always ask for more, but for how they're set up with how the rest of the West is going, a dream start, a perfect time for a bye week coming up to this fun stretch. It's a good time in Riderville.
Well, and Greg, I'm glad you brought up kind of the Bombers there too, because halfway through the season, which is where we are, and no, I don't think I'm going to be writing a song about halfway through the year and firing a coach this year. That's not on the table. But when you look at how things have shaken up, Winnipeg being 4-4, 4-5. I don't have the standings in front of me. What are they? 4-4. 4-4.
4-4.
Yeah, just wait. It's coming across the bottom of the screen. But yeah. They're 4-4.
So they're 4-1 against everybody who's not Calgary. They're 0-3 against the Stamps. So they're still showing that they can win. But 2 of those wins were with Chris Strevler as the quarterback, not Zach Collaros. So Collaros is 2-4 this year. So
Collaros isn't like he had that first game this year. He looked okay. The remainder not so good. Like And I know it's on our lineup, and we're going to talk about quarterbacks here shortly. But like, Winnipeg needed to move off Collaros 2 seasons ago. Like, they probably could have kept Drew Brown. I'm not saying Drew Brown is looking that great in Ottawa right now, but I think with the right tools, he'd be a better position than he would be in Ottawa.
I disagree. I think they should keep Collaros for at least another 2 to 3 years. I think that would be a great choice for their future.
Yes.
They timed this perfectly with their old guys for their home Grey Cup, coming down off their high of 5 straight just to miss the playoffs in time for their Grey Cup. That's please keep. In fact, sign Collaros to an extension.
They did.
3 years ought to do it.
They signed him to a 2-year extension beginning of the season.
This year?
Yes. Because
that was a choice.
Love it.
Yeah, because he got an extension at the same time as he got a suspension because I changed the graphic on it.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because this was he was in his lame duck year, so they gave him another extension for next year.
Oh, so just till the end of next season, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Give him another one after that.
Add another one. Yeah, just keep adding years on.
Yeah. As long as TSN keeps him in the top 5 of their pick 'em. Keep him in there.
The old DJ Khalid. And another one. And another one.
So, but we don't really know. I mean, they look good against other teams, but not Zach, right? So really, what kind of team are they? We don't really know. And Calgary's 3-3 against everybody who's not Winnipeg. So are they just an average team that has Winnipeg's number? And 2 of those losses are against Ottawa. So I'm not really sure. Halfway through the year, outside of Saskatchewan and Hamilton being the 2 best teams in this league, Montreal when they have Davis Alexander and only when they have Davis Alexander, I don't really know what to make of everybody else yet. At least in that middle group of Winnipeg, Calgary, BC, everybody else is just kind of junk.
And honestly, even Edmonton is starting to sneak their way up a little bit with Fajardo lately. They're starting to play better. They should be on a 2-game winning streak. If Julian Grant could catch a football. Of course, he caught the game winner the next game, but 1 week too late. They might be sneaking their way into that middle group ever so slowly, and Toronto might be dropping their way down into the bottom group.
They're a mess. But we are halfway through the season. So thoughts on how the season's been so far?
Perfect. We're 7-1.
Great for the Riders, yeah. I think
an entertaining year.
Oh, it's like, and a lot of people are saying it this past weekend. It was probably the most entertaining weekend of CFL football because at least usually one game is a dog. And I'm not saying every game was great, but every game had excitement this weekend. And you don't see a lot of that. Usually you have 1 or 2 and a blowout and then just one that just stinks to high heaven. So the fact that all the games were competitive and into the last minutes of the game were great to see.
The fact that the Montreal Edmonton game on a Friday night when both of those teams are not doing exactly well right now is now the best watched game of the season. If you would have told me that 10 weeks into the season, Montreal Edmonton was going to be the most watched game of the year, and deservedly so, that was fun, for a quarter or so.
Well, you look how the weekend started off with BC and Hamilton going into overtime, and basically both of them, and Hamilton gave that game. Like, BC had no reason to win that game. They gave up the momentum, and then just White trying to go for extra yards when he just should have went down. But it's just, like that started the weekend. I'm like, okay, good luck, Montreal, Edmonton. Yeah, like they're going to follow that up, and then it was a slugfest back and forth. And after they took out MBT, like,
yeah,
who would have thought Caleb Evans was the catalyst to success in Montreal? Wow, almost success.
Almost success. Still a loss.
He's not the failure. That's for sure.
And then the next day, Ottawa and Toronto almost put up 100 points.
See, and this goes back to like a Luke Wilson comment about the Riders and Argos game. I thought that was, as entertaining as that was fun. That was a lot of bad football.
Oh, it was.
That
It was
was
terrible football.
There was no defense whatsoever, and I get it. Defense doesn't sell games, offense and points does. So that's exactly what the casual fan wants to see. And the ending was exciting, but there was just a lot of bad plays in that game. And granted, it was pretty much all the defense and special teams, but it felt sloppy, but it was fun to watch. Like it was chaos, and that's kind of what I'm here for. So exciting, but it wasn't a great game in terms of seeing best on best kind of stuff.
What it really reminded me of was a lot of NCAA games when you get to like bowl season.
Yeah.
And so you're watching the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and it's like two like third place teams that you have two losses on their records. And it might not be the most clean football. Like you're not watching the national championship, but it's going to be a fun game because you are going to see just blown coverages and just ridiculous. That's why I've started to appreciate the Sickos committee on Twitter, who they've become fast CFL fans too.
They're
because of
watching a lot of CFL lately. Yep.
Yeah. And because that's it, like bad football is still fun football to watch. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Also, halfway through the year, we want to take a look back at how we've been doing, our bold predictions, our standings, that kind of thing. So we'll do that really quickly. We'll go through our bold predictions that we had before the season started. I'll start, just go in order that they were posted online. I had mine was BC crosses over and wins the East. Well, BC right now is in that crossover spot, and they just went into Hamilton and beat them. So there's potential there.
They're definitely going to be fighting Winnipeg for that third place in the West. So at that point, would you rather be in the East? It's never happened before. The Riders were the closest it's ever came to.
Yep. Thanks,
Stupid
Cody.
You never want to be the team that crosses over and has to do that time zone jump twice to win your series. Although for BC, it's even worse, having to go across the country to make that happen. But again, like you just said, they literally went into Hamilton and did what needed to be done. Now that wasn't a playoff game, but it was a sellout football game. That was a rabid crowd. You might have gotten this one, season ended today. You might be right.
Greg, you had 3 receivers for the Riders over 1,000 with Keyshawn Johnson, Dante Myers, and Sam Emelis. Right now, Johnson and Myers both on pace for over 1,000. Emelis,
if Emelis played more than 4 games, he'd be on pace too.
Yep.
4 games, 300 yards, like so close.
Depends on Emelis's health. Probably won't be coming back this week, but who knows if they start bringing him off a 6-game whatever. But my guess is you're probably not going to get the Emelis one this year.
I don't think the Emelis one, but Robistelli is snuck up to 317 in 6 games. Like he might be
200 and how many in one though?
Yeah, like he might be the Nick Dembski of this team. Like he's not a 1,000-yard receiver, but we're going to pretend he is.
What you might have gotten right about your pick, Greg, is just how much they're spreading the ball around this year. There is no one particular guy, and we've commented on it for 9 weeks in a row now. It's this week it's Emelis, next week it's Keyshawn Johnson, the week after it seems like every week it's somebody new. You might not get that third guy over 1,000, but you're going to get a lot of those 500, 600, 700-yard guys because they're just spreading the ball around.
My favorite thing about the Keyshawn Johnson and Dante Myers right now is they're both at 565 yards.
Right.
They both 43 catches for Johnson, 35 for Myers, 214 after yak yards for Johnson, 201 for Myers. It's just 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. They're basically mirror images of each other. Like pick your poison with those two.
And Steve, your prediction was AJ Ouellette leads the league in rushing. It was looking pretty good there for a little bit. Then the Riders just decided to kind of not run the ball for a little bit. But I mean,
I'm still feeling comfortable about that one. I wouldn't have been if Kadeem Carey was still healthy, but I feel like we're going to get a heavy dose of AJ Ouellette. And the one guy that worried me was Brady Oliveira, and he's distant, fifth right now, sixth?
He's sitting in fifth. He's got 378 yards.
Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
AJ's only 100 yards behind Dedrick Mills, and Mills has 1 yard up on one game up on
One
him.
game, yeah.
And he's only 150 behind Butler, who also has one game on him. So there's a shot, definitely a shot.
And Lord knows the Riders love to run in Calgary, and we play there next week. We all remember what happened with what's his name last year, whose name I can't remember. Good Lord. Oh,
Yeah, the Ottawa
running
guy.
back we cut. Yeah, the Ottawa guy.
I'm blanking on it too.
Make him the who are we?
Armstead.
Remember
Yeah,
that guy?
Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the remember that guy for this week because we just couldn't remember that guy.
He was already remember that guy. I remember that guy the week he got cut.
Our predictions on the standings, we all had the Riders at first at 12-6. For the Riders to get to 12-6, they just have to go 5-5 the rest of the year. I think that's very, very possible.
I think so too.
They should honestly blow that out of the water, but we're looking pretty good there. Other than that, we weren't really. I mean, Calgary's already surpassed our win total prediction.
Your guys is not mine. If they lose out, I'm good. So if Calgary loses the slate, I'm good.
It's ridiculous that they only have one bad year after making the playoffs for 20 straight years and just jump right back into a home playoff game or home playoff game spot. Come on. Suffer longer. You deserve it.
I was going to bring up our predictions for like who's going to be the Rider nominees for awards and everything. And those were so bad that I don't think we're going to do that.
That's fair.
So we'll just skip that.
Hooray.
One thing we did want to talk about, and Greg, you've wanted to talk about this for a couple weeks, and we've put it off a little bit. And we'll do it right now. The 2 quarterback system in the CFL. We always hear you need 2 quarterbacks to win. You need 2 quarterbacks to win. With a lot of the backups getting a lot of playing time this year, and a lot of them looking pretty bad, MBT, does any team really have 2 quarterbacks? And is that saying really true right now?
Tell me a team that has 2 quarterbacks. Like the Riders might be the closest one with Jake. And even the game he played, he didn't look great. Like they won that game despite to him. Like it's like Winnipeg and definitely Strebler ain't the man, obviously.
He's 2-0.
He's 2-0.
No, he's not. The Bombers are 2-0. He is not 2-0.
Calgary with Dirty Talker PJ Walker, like that's. I love Matt TV. I'm sorry, I'm going to call him that the entire time. Like it's he ain't ready. Edmonton's got Cody, but Trey Ford.
They don't have,
yeah, they don't have Trey Ford. Well, they do, but they don't. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know of any team that's got 2. Like, if Bo goes down, who's his backup?
Taylor Powell still.
Yeah, I think it's Powell. And then
Or
you go
Jake
from
Bogel.
you go from Brown to Crum. Like, no one's got 2 quarterbacks.
Now, would you classify Toronto in here, even though Chad Kelly hasn't played this year? Because Arbuckle himself, he's putting up good numbers. Obviously, the wins aren't there because their defense and special teams are awful. Would you include him there, or is he just the starter right now?
I would not. Which is funny. Talk about our 10 years and our 300,000 and the growth, and I'm using air quotes on this. I'm going to have to agree with Arash Madani on something, which I never thought I'd actually say on this show.
wow.
He doesn't think Kelly's going to play this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think so. At that point, if that's the case, I think you have to go Arbuckle's your 1. So I don't trust what they have behind him. They obviously don't. So
yeah, gone are the days where Damon Allen's the backup to Tracy Ham.
Like but we talked about this before. The quarterback depth, even in like all of pro sports right now, all of pro football is not what it used to be. Like,
No.
yeah, you're not having the situation where you have both Kevin Glenn and Henry Burst behind Nealon Green. That's just not happening anymore.
No,
Like the fact that Montreal thought they could move on, and I understand why they moved on from Cody for Davis Alexander, because yes, Alexander looked really good, and you didn't want that conflict in the dressing room, but MBT ain't the answer either. So they got to start grooming these backup quarterbacks because Harris is 38. Caleros is almost done. Like,
here's
who's
the
next?
thing, and this goes back to who said it? Maybe it might have been Eddie Steele. I don't remember. Somebody said it. No, I think it was Luke Mullender. Why do you have to groom them? It's the same thing with the Canadian players. Let another team groom them for 2-3 years, and then just pick them up when they're a free agent.
That's fine, but if
When was the last time-
if the backup quarterbacks aren't getting in, like, don't get me wrong, like, why am I drawing a blank on our Dolegala and who's our other backup
Mason
quarterback?
Fine,
Not Mason Fine. Who went to Winnipeg and got cut.
Shea Patterson.
Shea Patterson.
Oh, Shea Patterson.
Patterson and Dolegala got signed by other teams because they actually got legitimate playing time. So some coaches go, okay, that works. But you're not seeing playing time by your Taylor Powells this season. You're not seeing, like, who is even the backup behind Arbuckle? I'm going to have to look this up because I don't even
I
know.
have no idea, actually.
Yeah,
Well,
like I forgot Mazzoli's in BC right now, and it's probably a good thing because he played very bad against us.
Well, look at the Riders this year, and you have to go back to their last game to see an example of it. Trevor Harris in a blowout is still in the game with 3 minutes to go. Teams are hesitant to go to their backups, even late in football games, and I don't understand it. You're not giving these guys the opportunity to get those live game reps outside of preseason, and then you wonder why you don't really have that next generation of quarterbacks. You're seeing all these same guys, Bo Levi Mitchell, Trevor Harris, Zach Caleros, the guys that have been around, MBT, Nick Arbuckle. Like, you're not seeing new names behind center. And when you do, they get snapped up pretty quick by Ottawa or Edmonton and fizzle out.
I forgot. It's Tucker Horn and Jarrett Dagey in Toronto behind Arbuckle.
Yikes.
Yeah, so unless they're feeling horny, I definitely wouldn't go to Daggy. Woof. Like, but I also go back to when they left Trevor into that game. I stand by. They just wanted him to get his 70% and get out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because it's a made-up stat. It is not a thing.
But they haven't. I guess if you look back at the rest of our games, none of them have been blowouts. So there has not really been another opportunity to bring in Jake Mayer. But it is a concern that you don't really have that next run, those next guys. I don't know where you go, though. What do you do?
Yeah, you don't need two quarterbacks to win. It's proven. It's just a war of attrition at this point. Whoever has their starting quarterbacks at the end of the year are probably going to be the teams that face each other in the Grey Cup. And then you might get, a Nick Arbuckle that comes in, but you're probably not going to have a young guy that comes in and lights it up. You're going to have a vet who's a backup that probably gives you the best chance. But even then, how many of them are going to give an MVP, Grey Cup MVP type of performance? Nobody expected that out of Nick Arbuckle last year. If that happens again this year, I don't think anybody would expect it out of any team's backup either.
Well, we do thank Nick Arbuckle for it.
Yes, we do. We thank him for his service. You want to know what my new favorite stat for this season is? Davis Alexander in 4 games has 1,106 yards. McLeod Bethel Thompson had 957 with more games played.
Yep, MBT's been awful.
Yep.
But yeah, ultimately it comes down to and you referenced it, Greg, and I've been a proponent of this for years. There's just a quarterback problem in pro football, NFL, CFL. You have your elite tier in the NFL. You have a group that's a small group right below them, and then there's literally everybody else. Just I think defenses have caught up to quarterbacks. Quarterbacks can only do so much now. You're not seeing that big superstar anymore. A couple of them, but that's it. So the guy who can turn over the ball the least, that's who you want on your team. And that's who's going to win you championships.
Well, the Rider fans would probably really like to hear that.
Keep Trevor Harris healthy. That's all it is. And we have probably the best chance this year out of anybody.
Betting odds would agree with you.
Sean Lemon would not. That's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level. Let's get to Remember That Guy. We already referenced it with Reichwell Armstead and the other name we threw out there, and I completely forgot. But Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tech Experience. Greg, last week, you got us.
I did.
JT O'Sullivan. Who you got for us this week?
I think this is a 3.
Yep, 3 Van Stones. Okay,
it's a 3 Van Stones. He went to Indiana, where he's a 2-sport athlete.
Louis Sakota.
No,
damn.
He was all Big Ten in both sports, but it was all American in the non-football sport. Finished 10th at the '96 Olympic trials. Drafted in the second round of the NFL draft, 32nd overall, which technically would put him in the first round today. Has called Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Chicago, and Winnipeg home. Only played for 1 game for Winnipeg. He's cousin to Cincinnati Red great Barry Larkin. No? Okay. 32 sacks, 166 tackles, 5 fumble recoveries, 2-time CFL West All-Star, 1-time CFL All-Star. Think big.
It's not Nate Davis.
It is Nate Davis.
Really?
Yeah, he had a shot put of 19 meters, which earned him at the Big Ten championships in '97, I think, off the top of my head. That earned him, won the championships, put him in the Olympic trial, went All-American that year. Oh, that was '94, sorry. Yeah. And then he played for the Chicago Enforcers in the XFL, and he played tight end and D-end in high school. Imagine him as a tight end.
I forgot that he was that high of an NFL draft pick. I thought he was 3rd or 4th round. Yeah.
Nope, 2nd round, 32nd overall.
Man, him and Scott Schultz together were something.
Yeah.
Remember that all-century team, or all-quarter century team we talked about? Done right there.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nate Davis your pick this week because of Sean Lemon's sack celebration last week?
I did see the peeing, but I did not put 2 and 2 together.
I
just
raised the leg on the fire hydrant celebration, which I'm surprised. I mean, back when Nate Davis did it, wasn't it a fine?
No, it still might be coming around the corner. We haven't got the fines announced yet.
I'm surprised they didn't throw a misconduct penalty on that, since they throw misconduct penalties around like they're.
Because they probably thought there's a prop bet for Sean Lemon getting a flag, so they didn't want to give him one. But his shot put, he was all-American shot put athlete in college.
And he's still kicking around I think he's still in Regina.
Yep.
But he's just completely gone off the radar, though. Nobody knows what he's doing. He doesn't do any kind of media hits or anything. I really wonder what he's up to.
Have we ever had him on?
No.
In the 10 years?
No. Nate, if you hear this, have your people call our people.
Let me make a note. We'll try and I'll do some digging. I'll see what we can do. Find out where he went to, where he works. And I'll go there and show up. Do a show or I'll never leave you alone.
I really want to. I want to talk to more guys that played in that single year of the original XFL. I'm curious on how that went together. Like you had McCallum there, you had Big Nate Davis. Like there's a lot of CFL guys that went and played there.
Mhm.
I'm curious on what that season was really like behind the scenes.
I have Paul McCallum's number, so we could ask him. Who is the Marcus Crandall was there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, yes, he was.
All right. Well, Nate Davis here on Remember That Guy.
That's 2 in a row ago. Oh no, I guess you got on the 7th one.
That was
Does it
probably the
count?
last one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last one. Like, yeah, think
I
big.
forgot
Like
that he was in Winnipeg for that one game.
one game in Winnipeg.
I remember when he signed there. Yeah.
Still one more than Darian Durant.
And still got paid less for it.
Nate Davis, Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Time for Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. We kind of went over these games last week already, but just a couple things I want to bring up was the Ottawa and Toronto game, and not the game itself, the post game from Ryan Dinwiddie, again calling out his team, saying they have pretenders on the team with no courage when the offense scores 40 plus point or almost 40 points, when defense and special teams were awful. What does he do? Cuts a backup running back and a fullback.
Hey, heads rolled at least.
I
Heads
guess,
rolled this time.
He's one up on the last time he called everybody out.
but with Ryan Dinwiddie, and I know this guy is used to winning a lot of games as a head coach. You look at his track record with Toronto, great record as a coach. 16-2 in the regular season, didn't win the Grey Cup that year, but 2 other years won the Grey Cup. So the guy clearly knows how to win. And this is the first time that adversity has really ever faced them. They're 2-7. I mean, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. But to me, it's the lack of accountability. And it just shows to me that he's losing or has lost the room. After the game, Matt Shinetti was in the locker room, asked Wynton McManus about the culture and how strange is it that this culture is different and is weird. And all Wynton McManus says is he looked at the camera dead center and just said, it's strange. So there's something going on there. And that just shows me that Dinwiddie's losing or has lost the room. And these guys just don't care right now. But you're not hearing Ryan Dinwiddie accept any blame on this. It's these guys are pretenders. We don't have enough dogs, which you can go out and say, but at the same time, it's my job to make sure that they're not that way. It's my job to bring out the dog in them. And he's accepting none of the blame. And that's a big problem for me.
And we've seen that in the past, and it's usually a omen for things that are about to happen. Like look at that Corey Chamberlain press conference where he basically said it's not my job to go there and win games.
I'm ready. Yeah, actually it is, bud.
It is. You look at the Forgotten Season, Greg Marshall, and stuff that he said. Like it's.
And you acknowledged it.
I said Forgotten Season. I don't recall anything that happened. You guys keep on telling me about it, but the fact remains is Dinwiddie gets fired tomorrow. He's in Ottawa the next day because Bobby Dice is hanging on to that job by his fingernails. And I don't know if they want to do the Campbell Redux in Ottawa, yes or no. So he's a good coach. He's just in a bad situation right now. And I don't know if that's his situation or if that's the culture that's seeped through that organization for the last couple of years. Because let's face it, despite winning hides all your warts, and they've won, but let's be honest, they barely made it to the playoffs. They found lightning in the bottle in the playoffs. They won a Grey Cup twice in 3 years. So yeah, winning hides your warts, but they're not that great of team typically. Like they just kind of find catch lightning in the bottle at the right times. And that's through coaching and players that are lifting up their game. That said, Dinwiddie can only go so many, give the old, there's heads going to roll and we're going to fix this speech and do nothing about it, because the guys are seeing you're not holding anyone accountable. You're not actually fixing the problems. You're moving deck chairs around the Titanic at this point.
The moment he came out and said heads were going to roll after that game against Saskatchewan and called out his offensive line for coming to camp too small and this, that, and everything else, and then nothing happened for weeks, told that locker room everything they needed to know.
Well, the worst part is
there was no
that press conference. They pulled that press conference off their website, so there was like no receipts, but a bunch of reporters uploaded it anyway.
But you can't say those things. You can't go out in the media and talk about how there's going to be accountability, and then offer none, have none, and expect the team to continue playing for you. There's no reason outside of a paycheck at that point. There's no concern for their jobs. There's no worry. They're riding on a couple of Grey Cups. They've got time to turn it around. I think I'm with Alex. I think that room has clearly tuned him out, and Toronto needs to do something, whether it's a big move, a big roster move, a trade, something to wake them up, or they're going to find themselves on the outside looking in real quick.
Okay, what's worse though? What Dinwiddie's doing, saying heads are going to roll and not doing anything about it, or what Dickey was doing, basically, I love these guys, they're doing great and all that, and then just
bowling.
And then crap talking them behind their things, where even the players are going, that's not what you said in the locker room. Like, so
yeah,
like what's worse? Like,
Probably
there's a reason why Craig Dickinson's not a head coach anymore, and probably will never be one.
If you look back at that Rider team from a couple years back, everybody and their dog could see that Dickey had lost that locker room a year and a half before. You don't go on multiple 9-game losing streaks playing for a coach you respect.
7, come on, don't completely damn him.
Sorry, I just for me, for some reason, Banjo Bowl is always the midpoint, and I don't know why. Yes, 7. It was multiple 7-game losing streaks, but then to have what happened at the end of his tenure, and a game with the season on the line, and a coach coming out going, well, we're gonna play together, we're gonna go bowling, we're gonna have some fun.
Well,
it might be our last time as a team. Yeah, like you've already admitted defeat publicly. I don't want to relive that season. We're in the Corey Mace era now.
I do wonder for Toronto, though, how much of this is based around the whole Chad Kelly thing, just behind the scenes. Going from the off season into now this injury that doesn't heal and infections in his toe or whatever he has. But there's something going on there. And it's clearly affected the team.
And that's the weird thing about it. And I kind of wanted to dance around this too, is because they had to know. Like at some point, Toronto has MLSE money. Like they've got Rogers money. They've got money behind them. The fact that they're basically like apparently using like a witch doctor or like the chicken toes, trying to figure out what Chad Kelly's issues are, and they waited till you're a third of the way in the season going, oh, maybe we should put him on the 6th game. What? Like if he wasn't ready to go at the beginning of the season and he's not getting better by game 2, throw him on the 6th game already. Like, make a plan to have someone better than Tucker Horn behind Arbuckle then. Because, like I said, I don't agree with Arash, but he ain't playing this year. So you literally came in this season with your number 2 as your number 1 and no strategy behind it. You're cutting Kadeem Carey. Like, you've got no talent on that offensive side of the ball, essentially. It's just mind-boggling what their plan was. And that goes above Dinwiddie to the general manager because this team was built like not great. Like I almost swore.
I mean,
They're off.
Pinball's the GM, but let's be honest, it's not Pinball. He's just
It's Murph.
Yeah, it's John Murphy, and probably Ryan Dinwiddie has a lot of say in it as well, in terms of the type of players that he wants and bringing guys in.
Well, John Murphy's got to get on Facebook and start scrolling for more players like he did with
Joe
Craig
Craig.
what was that? Thank you,
Joe Craig Jr. cutting grass in Memphis when he gets a Facebook DM from Murph.
Although maybe that's a guy that should probably stay off social media.
That's a guy that needs to not be in this league, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Like, say what you want him as a football mind, which he's a decent football mind. He's just not good.
Regina Thunder update.
Woo! Yeah.
Thunder 1-0, beating
Hilltops, the best one. Hilltops 0-1.
Yeah, beating the Huskies last week in Edmonton. Not the blowout that we were expecting, but
they started that game slow. Huskies got not an early lead. They took the lead going into halftime, and then I think I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure old Scott McCauley probably peeled the paint in the dressing room. They came out better for the second half, and basically almost held the Huskies scoreless, actually. So way better second half. Got stuff going. It was announced today, Peter Borsch, running back for the Thunder, 310 rushing yards in that game.
300 yards rushing.
Not even a record. You know who has the CJFL regular season record? Greg Morris. There's a remember that guy for you.
Greg Morris.
Yeah, he 410 yards, I think, in the regular season. 420. But anyway, yeah, no, Borsch got 310 yards rushing. Obviously, the ground attack, that offensive line is really good. Hilltops lose to the Rifles. Wildcats came out of nowhere and destroyed the Colts. So the PFC was pretty topsy-turvy for the first half of that football game because the Hilltops were losing, Wildcats were winning, and the Thunder were losing. So it was a really weird bit of football on Sunday. So, but
I don't remember Greg Morris as a rider. I really don't.
Really?
I'm looking it up, and it's 2016 and 17.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the hell are you talking about? I'm looking him up. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Had to start with the riders.
Remember that guy? I remember that guy.
I don't. Kickoff returner.
Yep.
And that was just recent, too. That was 10 years ago. 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Don't remember him.
Oh, well, I guess I'll add him to the list. You better add him to your list.
I added him to my list now because I know you're going to.
Yeah, the minute you hear CJFL, Greg Morris. But yeah, no, the big shocker of the weekend, Hilltops losing. The Hilltops.
And not losing, they got creamed.
Supposedly, their starting quarterback did not make the trip to Winnipeg due to injury, and then their second stringer got knocked out of the game like 3 plays in, supposedly.
Yikes.
So apparently it was a bit of a circus. Talked to Darren Bombing of Bonfire, who does the play-by-play for the Rifles games, and he confirmed what I saw at the preseason game. The Rifles are going to be a better team this year. Jordy's as a decent enough coach, or really good coach actually, but they've got to actually have a quarterback this year who can play. So I'm actually looking forward to the Thunder Rifles home and home late this season. And actually, we just got our tickets for the Thunder, so we got some tickets to give away this year too for all the home games.
Awesome. Well, we'll have that on social media coming up, and we'll get some people out to see some great CJFL action.
I will say, while we got a chance, speaking of Saskatoon teams losing, as we're recording right now, the Regina Red Sox are playing up in Saskatoon for Game 3 of the WCBL Finals. I know it's not football related, but got a little soft spot for the team as they pay me every so often. I know I'm easily swayed by money. Shocking. They're up 6-2 against the Berries right now in the bottom of the 7th.
The Berries are a wagon. What?
Yeah. Yeah, they're winning right now. They just put up 3 in the top of the 7th to take a 3-2 or a 6-2 lead. So if you're thinking of coming down, I just got the schedule for the finals. If they do win tonight, head to Curry Field on Thursday night. That place was absolutely nuts last night. There were 1,700 people in the building, packed. There were people like along the fences up on Pleasant or on Mount Pleasant. Only
here's
one
the
game
problem
in the
with them winning.
finals.
The Thunder practice next door, and we'll be practicing Thursday night. It's going to be a gong show.
Oh, the parking on last night was hilarious. We had at least 6 people come up to the press box going, can you move this car? Because an entire row of people parked 3 cars back to back, not realizing that, the people in the middle can't get out. But yeah, I thought I'd bring that up because they're potentially winning. So if they win, go Thursday night.
I will say,
it'll be
though,
the last game of the season.
I am kind of glad you brought up the baseball because I love the marketing of the Saskatoon Berries.
Oh, they're
I love
so
that they
good.
went with the berries, and I'm going to share this here. Let me see right here. They have this shirt, and I bought it, and I don't have it beside me, but they have a Berry 314 shirt with the.
It's not working.
No, it's not. How there it should show up now.
There it is. Oh, nice.
There.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm sure that's a copyright issue somewhere. But I do have that. It's just in the other room. So I should have worn it tonight. But anyway, glad you brought that up.
That's pretty good. That's I like that they even call it the Stone Cold Berries shirt. Not sure I want to mess with
here, Greg, you do
WWE on merchandise.
I push the buttons, Alex. That being said, the Saskatoon that sports group or whatever the heck they're called, they do a very good job marketing all their teams. The Blades, the Rush, the Berries. They do a very good job.
I have a lot of hope that when the Semples take over the Red Sox, that maybe they'll be able to do something with the Pats and the Red Sox, because for entertainment dollars, you don't get much better than CJFL and WCBL, that kind of stuff. For the money you pay to go to those games, check them out. Get out to support the local teams. It's good. It's good football. It's good baseball. It's fun.
And a great segue right there. Get out and support the Riders this upcoming Saturday. Time for our enemy preview presented by Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Riders Ticats on Saturday at 1:00. Over 30,000 tickets sold already for this game. Should be very close, if not will sell out. Imagine that. A team that's winning sells tickets. The buzz around this team is back. Last year, even when the team was doing better with Coach Mason his first year, the buzz wasn't there yet. I go back to the last home game, and you guys were pissed off about the wave, but people were having fun. That crowd was amped up. Like, that was such a great crowd that I can only imagine once they sell out this game, and then you got Labor Day as the next home game after that, which is sold out. The Goth Labor Day, by the way.
Did you notice they fixed that? They made the TH smaller.
The font, yeah. The buzz is back here with the Riders. So this upcoming Saturday, if you have a chance, there's not many tickets left. All the upper deck is open. So get your tickets and get out there and support the Riders.
But we said last year, even though they were doing better, it was a show me season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this team burned people during the Dickey years. Like, they got to good starts, and then they lost 7 in a row, and there goes the playoffs. So everyone can not count on their home playoff game credit this year, I'm thinking.
Whoa. It's way too early for that kind of talk. Again, like you said, the Riders have burned themselves in the past after hot starts. You literally just talked about it. Let's not tempt fate by writing checks our team can't cash.
They'll cash.
Nah,
I'm not worried about it.
To heck with that. I'm on Greg's side here. With the way that the schedule is, you have the bye week last week. You have 4 games and then another bye week and then 5 games or whatever it is.
And then the West
And then
final,
another
West
and
semi
then
bye
another
week.
bye week, and then the West final. I mean, that's kind of things are lining up. I'm just saying.
And then we're moving into Winnipeg's dressing room, and
Oh.
everything's fine.
I've said it all along. How beautiful would it be to lift the cup? Andrew Harris lifting the cup in Ryder Green in the Bombers locker room. Oh, please, please. I don't ask for much. Make that happen.
I would make that picture my phone screen. I really would.
Right?
And you know my thoughts on Andrew Harris.
Oh, after years, my profile picture on Twitter is still the picture of me with the Andrew Harris, Mr. Mackey sign and the Bombers mascots. Like, we know how I feel about Andrew Harris too, but I would absolutely, that's wallpaper. That is, that'd be beautiful.
Well, is this game a Grey Cup preview?
Oh.
We're talking about the Grey Cup.
I don't know. I really don't know. The East final is always a coin flip. It doesn't seem to matter who's first in the East. They don't seem to make the Grey Cup.
Yeah, it's weird. That week off seems to just derail any momentum.
Like Toronto, Montreal goes in there, cleans their clock. When it's Montreal, Toronto goes in there, cleans their clock.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's very weird. Like if I'm hosting the East Final, I am not comfortable. That being said, Bo Levi Mitchell, now that him and Kenny Lawler finally got on the same page, because when we played them last time, they were not there yet. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day for our defensive backs. Because who do you cover? Because the other teams have been covering Kenny Lawler and keeping him out of games, but Keandre Smith is coming out of nowhere. By the way, best value on the fantasy site.
He went down again. He's 2,500 now.
What?
He went down for the 3rd straight week.
And he gets more yards every week. He goes down.
In fairness, I think this week he dropped in yards, but he's still 5 catches and a touchdown, 15 points, and they thought, oh, eventually this has to fall off. Let's put him at the bare minimum. They're just trying to help us out because all their other players are so overpriced. You can't put a goddamn team.
Meanwhile, Greg Bell's getting like 10 yards rushing total, and for some reason he's at 14,000. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Where's that woodsy, no one cares about your fantasy football team picture? But I mean, that's a good conversation. Who are they going to cover, right? Like that's the strength there. Tim White, Kenny Lawler, Keandre Smith, those guys are all putting up very good games this year. So with the Riders' struggles in the secondary, giving up a lot of yards, obviously didn't in their last game, but that's going to be something to watch. Is how is if we can get pressured, it all starts. We'll say it as long as Corey Mace runs this kind of defense, as long as that front 4, front 7, whatever gets pressure to throw the quarterback off, then I'm not too worried, but they have to get that pressure.
Here's the thing that I know. It's Bo Levi Mitchell in Regina. Those are never fun games for our defense.
Like, who's going to get the pick 6 though?
This is going to be a horse race. Whatever the over-under is, I would take the over. Because Hamilton's defense is missing, by sounds of it, is missing some key guys, especially in their secondary. Yes. So I think it's going to Ottawa and Toronto almost hit 90, almost hit 100. This one's got a shot to hit 90 because whatever the over-under is, I think the over is a safe bet.
Yeah, you referenced those injuries. Stavros Katsantonis at safety, Jamal Peters in the defensive backfield as well. Sounds like they're probably trending towards being a game time decision, which that doesn't sound good to me if they're not going to get any practices in before then. So that could be the thing for the Riders offense is we've seen how quick the Ticats can strike on offense. Very, very fast, big plays. This might be another one of those just burn the clock, dink and dunk offense from Trevor Harris, 6-yard passes, 7-yard passes, just move the chains, don't have that big play, set something up later. Just keep the ball away from them. I can absolutely see with the injuries in the secondary is that might be the approach for the Riders this week.
That whole prediction of AJ Ouellette leading the league in rushing, this is the week where they need to put him to work. Because you're right, you need to keep Tim White, Kenny Lawler, Keandre Smith. I mean, I'm not worried about Greg Bell. I'm not worried about any running back, but least of all Greg Bell. Now he'll
No one
for
killed
200
Sanders.
yards, right? Yeah, if he's not practicing, I'm taking the over on whatever the rushing numbers are or rushing odds are. But if he's in there, yeah. But the key, and you've mentioned it, we've mentioned it year after year, week after week after week. Get after Bo Levi Mitchell. Don't give him a moment's break. Hit him hard, hit him often, and you get him out of his game. If you let him get comfortable back there, he will pick this defense apart. He'll pick any defense apart. So this is the real test. If you look at our schedule, Hamilton is the measuring stick. They weren't back in, was it week 2 when we saw them? They weren't quite at the level they are now. They're now the odds-on favorites out of the East. So it'll be a fun one. I'm liking a 43-40 score. That's
those do pretty good for us.
Yeah, I like that.
For the Riders, no Sam Emelis, Keen Schaefer-Baker, Mario Alford, all not practicing this week. People were asking if they would come back after the bye. Sure doesn't look like it. Sean Bain Jr., still practicing with the number 2s, is not getting any number 1 reps. So unless we get an injury to an American receiver, I don't know if we see Sean Bain this year.
Where do you put him? Honestly, at this point, where do you put him?
There's nowhere to put him. You just can't. The ratio, he's up against the ratio is what it is.
At this point, do you trade him to like Ottawa?
No.
Get a pick for him?
I don't think you trade him. I don't think you tempt fate like that, the way that we've lost receivers for a while.
If he's not showing any kind of, disgruntled employee type behavior in the locker room behind the scenes that we don't see, if he's not doing anything like that, you got to keep him.
Yep. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't want to see him go, but I'm just thinking, and don't get me wrong, he's been doing all the right stuff on the sidelines, it seems. So he's been a team guy, but at the same time, like,
yeah, it's got to be frustrating for him, right?
It's one of those things where it's not a problem until it is. And then when it's a problem, you got to hope it's not too late.
Well, the nice thing about our team right now and the culture that is set, it doesn't feel like that's going to be a problem. And if it is, I feel it'll be dealt with very, very quickly, which is not something we've seen over the last number of years. So I think it'll be...
They're going to go bowling?
I hope not. But this should be one hell of a game. Again, over 30,000 for sure, possible sellout, and the 2 best teams in the league. This is everything you want. So should be a good one. Won't be too hot. I think it's only supposed to be like 24.
Matinee game in the afternoon. Family day.
Yep. So should be a great afternoon at the park at Mosaic Stadium. And with that in mind, let's get to our picks against the spread this week. Time for Piffles Picks.
Piffles Picks.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
Now, normally I have my picks written in here. I have nothing right now. I'm waiting to see that friggin' coin, which only went 2-2 last week.
But you take away the last 30 seconds of those first 2 games, and I'm 4-0. It's not my fault they forgot the script.
You take away the last 30 seconds of the middle 2 games,
that's
and
different.
I'm 4-0.
That's different.
We were all 2-2, weren't we?
Yes.
I was gonna say we were all 2-2. Like we all had an even split.
It was a
Congratulations, Greg. Here.
You guys are making fun of me. I came back on the back end.
It was that cover by Winnipeg.
Yes, it was.
So the first game on Thursday, Ottawa at Winnipeg. Steve, do you want to take a guess at this one?
Winnipeg 4.5.
I'll say Winnipeg 3.5.
Oh, he's just being a dick.
Winnipeg -6.
Wow.
It's worked for me so far this season. I'll take Winnipeg.
Where's the game? In Winnipeg?
Home team?
That's Winnipeg. Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
I can't take the Pretenders. I really can't. So it's Winnipeg at home.
That one game didn't sway you enough, huh?
No, they did not.
Now, if I had to make my pick for who I want, go Ottawa by 37.
Absolutely.
Bobby Dice deserves one.
He got one. He literally saved his job like 2 weeks in a row.
The
Over under on that one. By the way, the over under on that one is 50.5. Just in case anyone was curious.
Oh, I would go under.
Yeah. Yeah.
What could possibly be the game of the week, just in the sense that they're both bad teams, and usually when bad teams play each other, it's awesome football. Toronto at Edmonton. I'll guess that it's Edmonton by 1.5.
That's where it opened. It's moved, by the way. It's moved.
What does it move to?
Toronto? Because I was going to say Toronto 1.5. Wow.
Edmonton 3.
So 1.5 spread. I will go with Edmonton in this one.
I'm also on Edmonton.
The coin agrees. Well, this week's anticlimactic so far.
By the way, that spread, that total is 53.5.
I'd take the over on that one.
I think the over on that one's pretty safe.
Yeah, Toronto can score points, and Cody, when he needs to, can put them up. Riders home to Ticats. Steve?
Be good, coin. Be good. Oh, the spread. Sorry, I had to sweet talk the coin for a minute. I'm going to go Riders by 4.5.
I don't think it's that much. I think it's Riders 2.5.
Riders 3.
3 even.
3 even. We're looking at a Brett Lothar spread here.
Well, my 43-40 pick sounds
very good.
Pretty good.
Very on point.
Yeah.
Now, do I trust Lothar to make that kick to make it a push? Depends
or does
if
he
it's
push it and make it
or
a
longer.
I'm going to say right now, I don't like this choice, but I got to make it. I'm taking Saskatchewan, but I do not trust myself on this one.
I'll go with Hamilton to cover.
The coin across the desk.
The coin is running away.
I'll go with Hamilton to cover.
Hamilton.
Greg,
over under
Ridernation.
Over under 53.5.
Over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Greg, I hope you pick up the game on us this week.
So do I.
I hope the Riders.
I'm betting with
the Riders win by 2, just so we can give Greg the finger while the Riders win.
Exactly.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
I mean, I won't stop you from giving them the finger anyway. Just wait till we're done the show here.
Oh yeah, it's a family-friendly show.
Of course. Says the guy who just called somebody a dick.
Well, he shouldn't be a dick.
Final game.
It's my default setting.
Montreal at BC. I'll guess that since it's going to be Caleb Evans. I'll guess it's BC by 2.5.
I'll go BC 4.5.
BC -4.
God.
4?
What's with all the even point spreads? Come on.
BC.
No.
Apparently,
you and the coin are thinking alike this week, Alex.
And me too, because I don't see Caleb Evans taking this team to victory. And I don't care if Maltos can kick 53 yarders.
Well, let's talk about the kickers really quick. Just before we leave here, Where's Steve going?
The
Picking
coin
up
has
his
run away
coin.
for good.
Sir, you don't need it anymore. Sergio Castillo kicks a 63-yarder, ties Paul McCallum's CFL record.
Yep.
And he had plenty of room to spare on that one too. Jose Maltos Diaz looks like an absolute stud at kicker from Montreal, hitting those 50 mid to high 50-yard kicks. And I joked with you guys about this. We're celebrating these guys. We have an NFL kicker in the preseason. Cam
70.
Little kicked 70-yarders, 70, which would have broken the record by 4 yards if it actually counted in the regular season. And I'm supposed to be patient with a guy who's less than 70%. I mean, he's higher than 70% now, but like, I'm just saying that's the difference in kickers right now.
Well, and like I said though, like you got fans who are saying like Lacombo's got to go, AJ's got to go. Yet, Brett's going to work himself through it. It's like, sorry guys, at some point, and I'm not the type that goes kickers only got one job, but he's got one job. Like he's got to kick those, and
Everybody has one job. Chris Milo told us that last week.
Yeah. The fact remains he's still dead last in this league. He's 71.4%.
Where's Paredes now? Is he
73.9?
Yeah.
He had another rough one.
Lewis Ward 77.8, Blanchard 78.6. I think Blanchard's a terrible kicker. So what does that tell you about Brett Lothar right now?
Hey, he's bridging the gap. It's narrowing.
Is it he's bridging it, or the other guys are sucking down to the bottom
Shut up.
too?
It's getting closer. That's all that matters.
The kicker standings is like the CFL standings. There's two guys at the top, and that everybody else sucks.
Well, no, it's funny though. Leggio was second. Leggio and White were both perfect this season.
And they both missed.
And they both missed. Maltos is now in second at 93.3%. Leggio is now behind him.
Yeah, because he missed two in that game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or was it three?
Mark Leggio looked like he was kicking for the Grey Cup.
Yeah. In fairness, he got rocked pretty good in that one on his first attempt.
That's fair.
I don't think he got hit that hard.
As a kicker. If you cough on him, you got hit pretty hard.
I was gonna say a strong wind knocked him over.
When he went down, I was like, okay, that's a guy trying to draw a flag, but if you're a kicker, you miss the kick, you're allowed to get hit.
But at the same time, Harris is still 5% better than Lothar is at kicking field goals. This is getting ridiculous at this point.
I will say again, I'll say it again. They're not going to replace him. If there was good enough Canadian kickers out there right now, they absolutely would have at least brought one in. The fact is, there's not. So
there is. There's no proven Canadian kickers at this point.
You're never going to let that one go.
Didn't your guy get signed in Toronto? Was that where he went? Was it Toronto?
He went to Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
He went to Hamilton.
I guess he was behind a guy kicking high 90s. That's fair.
Yeah.
Like if he couldn't make the dumpster fire in Toronto, maybe pipe down a little bit for a few weeks. Apparently that's not your specialty.
Supposedly, there's at least 5 teams that have told him that if there's an injury, he's the first guy they're going to call.
So but this is Eric Lewis, by the way, former Regina Thunder player.
Yeah.
And the holder of the RSCQ record for longest field goal, which he kicked last year at Concordia. Fact remains is when you've got 4 guys in the 70s, you have 4 guys in the 70s. One of them, at least one team should be going, maybe we should bring a kid in to see what's going on here. Meanwhile, you've got guys signing punters left and right here. We got a Kiwi punter on our roster that's probably never going to see the field this year. Why? It makes no sense. And don't get me wrong, Couch hasn't been that great at punting, but they don't seem to be any hurry to change him out either.
Well, they're not going to mess with Lothar's holding now. Although, can you make it much worse?
Why not?
I don't know, man.
Let's just hope that the Riders cover that 3-point spread more than that, so it doesn't come down to a kick and make us all super nervous.
This is what's going to happen. Lothar's going to go 3 for 5 this weekend, and he's going to kick the game winner.
So it'll be like Rene Paredes.
Yep.
Against Winnipeg. He was awful until the final kick, which he nailed, and they called him Mr. Clutch, which, yes, he was, but still didn't have a good game. Doesn't mean that he had a good game.
Yep.
But, I mean, whatever. Brett wins the game. Love it. All for it.
I don't care if he goes 0 for 5. If he kicks a game-winning field goal, good with it. Best
How
game
can
of the
you
week.
go over 5 kick a game-winning field goal?
If he's 0 for 5 to that point, Greg.
Oh, okay.
It's not that serious.
Well, should be a good game. Riders, Ticats, and a potential Grey Cup preview this upcoming Saturday at Mosaic. It should be a good one. See you guys there. All right. Well, that'll do it this week here on the Piffles podcast. Greg, you look like you have something to say. No?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
Well, no, I just laughed. It's going to be a short one, and we're an hour 15 in.
Well, you guys
Imagine if we did the
baseball and
Someone had to show his Barry shirt off.
well
6-2, bottom of the ninth. Just saying.
Damn. Go Red Sox, I guess.
Yeah.
Piffles
Yeah,
podcast brought to you by
sports
our
team.
Piffles podcast brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making this show possible. Thanks again for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on SaskTel Max TV on demand or YouTube. 300,000
Plus,
That's-
we're over it.
over that. Full disclosure, we don't like to pat ourselves on the back very often, but that's pretty cool. So thank you, Ridernation, for tuning in for whatever reason. I'll never understand, but we do appreciate it.
Especially you Bomber fans that hate watch us. Thank you. I appreciate
They all
that.
count.
They all count.
I think there's only one appropriate way to end this, and it usually happens in the credits, but as we're saying thank yous.
And also, thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.
That's how we feel to everybody watching and listening to the show. This is Ghost Behind Your Mind by Tyler Gilbert.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.